Hey yo, what's good? Basically, I'm making this video because I've actually been getting some friends and even a few family members like calling me up and writing me saying like, oh, I shouldn't be, supporting Kanye because of what he said and stuff. And so I'm just addressing that. Basically, I actually. No, I wasn't even like a Kanye supporter like that. Actually, there was a moment where I was very very pissed at Kanye when he was first kind of aligning himself with Trump and stuff, and you know I I woke up one morning, like this hadn't happened to me since maybe I was like a child. Like I woke up like angry, like just woke up angry at Kanye, and I was like, all right, what the hell is wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like, hey, how am I gonna be like sitting here like waking up mad about another man? Like, that's some bitch shit. So I contemplated on that, I meditated on that, and I looked in my heart and I forgave Kanye, and because like it was, I had like, what was I, filling myself with hate for someone for, like, just like it was only hurting me. That, like, so it was just really stupid. And I wasn't really following what he was doing and stuff. I kind of like just distanced myself away from him. But I've been really so like the whole thing, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So Kanye's recent stuff, I've really been feeling what he's saying. Like, I don't agree with everything Kanye does. I don't like idolize him or something, but as far as his expressions on free thought and just people being themselves like unapologetically, I really vibe with that. And so and if y'all been following me the whole thing, my statements has always been. My stance has always been like, follow no man, especially not a president, because, no president's going to save you. And I feel like a lot of people are misdirecting their anger towards the mothership right now, so, here's the thing, man, like, Kanye, like, yeah, like I said, I don't, agree with everything Kanye does, but as far as his recent expressions on free thought, they're true and they're valuable. And I don't find it wise to fully follow any man, but I do find it wise to embrace valuable thought. And I think what he's been saying is very much needed now, because I mean, look at the reaction from people. Like, yeah, the truth is scary, eh? But and here's the thing, and a lot of people, because they don't agree with him now, like all of a sudden, they want to say, oh, well, he's ill in the head and this kind of thing, just because he has a different perspective with them, and I think that is really regressive and a mean-spirited mentality to have about anyone who disagrees with you. Like, all of a sudden, they're crazy. Like, Kanye has been this way since forever. You know what I mean? This is nothing really that new, the way he's acting. And here's the thing: even if he does like Trump, like I said, like it's very important to love your enemies. And so, like, although like I'm not like a Trump supporter, I love Trump. I love all my fellow people, because there's such vitriol for our fellow countrymen right now, and Kanye is able to look past all that. And so, like, I support that, because with the great divide right now in between the Republican and Democrat Party, everyone's just trying to destroy each other. And yeah, we need to bring back the love for our fellow countrymen. And so here's the other points I was letting a family member know who had wrote me about this. Basically, Kanye is certainly not the first person to speak about, you know, mental enslavement and everything. Like obviously I've talked about that a lot. You know, I've spoke on that. You know, like a lot of the Kidnap album involved that. And you know, but here's the thing. He may not be the first one speaking about it, but at that high of a platform, that's something that needs to be addressed right now. And because especially like if you look at it this way, like how many times did our mothers tell us to say thank you when we were children? You know, they told us again and again and again, right? And you know, because good habits are brought about and instilled in us by repetition and discipline. And so this should be something that is said again and again and again. You know, and we really have to remember that forgiveness is key. Because, like, you know, like, people want to be mad at Kanye for aligning with Trump, but, you know, love conquers all in the end. And you got to remember, like, even, say, like the hate-filled George Wallace, you know, he eventually came back to Dr. King's very church, you know, who, you know, he had been fighting him again and getting made hell for him in Selma. And he came to King's church and asked and begged for forgiveness for all the harm that he did to black people, you know. So, you know, it just shows you that power of, you know, being able to reach across to those who we disagree with. You know, King called him out on again and again and again, and you know, eventually George Wallace had a change of heart in the end. So, you know, we need to keep marching forward, and you know, and if we're, you know, because if we're gonna talk about liberating black people, which is a lot of the points, you know, some of my friends have been bringing up, like, oh, well, you know, Kanye's things like takes us back, and all this stuff, you know, this real, you know, mentality that like someone else could like save us or something. But see, here's the thing, because if we're gonna talk about liberating black people, and like, let's take that away, because it's one human race. Like, if we're going to talk about liberating people, you know, the fight starts in our mind. And it starts with ourselves. So blaming Kanye, blaming Trump, blaming anyone, you know, it's just going to hold you back. And so looking for scapegoats doesn't liberate people. But reminding that against all odds, we are free, that's liberating. All right, so you know, we need to look to Christ and be our own leaders, because only through Him we're free. So yeah, that's my stance on this, and you know, take that for what you will. If you have any questions on that, you know, feel free to drop them in the comments. But you know, I think all this like hate and attacking each other and attacking Trump, attacking Kanye, it's silly, because that's not gonna get us anywhere. So yeah, love and light.